What's up, athlete? Welcome to 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝘀 Retreat. Welcome to the desert retreat, and welcome to full body flexibility. Today, we're going to truly stretch every single part of your body. We're going to work on the hamstrings, the hip flexors, the adductors, the shoulders, and your back chain. All you're going to need for today's workout is going to be 2 yoga blocks. I want you to use these blocks to elevate your hands to make exercises slightly easier. We want to make the exercises easier so you can really focus on form. Look, these stretches are all great, but if you do them wrong, they're not going to be as effective. So let's make the exercises easier so you can really focus and do it right. Starting in the middle of your mat, feet about shoulder width apart and in parallel. I want you to take your right hand and I want to slide it down your right thigh. Take your left hand overhead, bring it out towards the side for a gentle side stretch. Now from here, you're going to rotate your torso, bring your second hand out towards the front, and hold this position parallel to the floor. Keep your knees fully locked and your hips in a slight anterior pelvic tilt. Hands down, come up. Repeat on the other side. Right hand comes overhead, left hand slides down on your leg. Get a nice and gentle side stretch. From here, we rotate the body, bring the left hand out. Upper body parallel to the floor. Anterior pelvic tilt, both knees fully locked. Relax down, come back up. One more time. Right hand slides down your thigh, left hand comes overhead. Now this time here, staying on the side, you're going to bring your right hand out towards the side. Push your right armpit gently towards the front. Rotate the body to be parallel to the floor, staying on top of that right leg. Knees fully locked, anterior pelvic tilt. And relax everything down. Come up nice and rounded, one vertebrae at a time. Last time, right hand overhead, left hand slides down the thigh. Bring your left hand out towards the side, pushing your left armpit towards the front. Rotate the body to be parallel to the floor. Stretch it nice and long. Feel that hamstring stretch. Relax down and roll back one vertebrae at a time. Good job. Welcome. Grab your yoga blocks. Come down to your knees. You can do this one straight away with me. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to have your left foot flat on the floor. You're going to bring your right knee right next to that left foot, just inside of it. Flex your back foot. You're going to put your hands on the yoga blocks outside of that foot and knee. Put your hands high for now. Make it easy so we can focus on form. I want you to get this right. Connect your ribs with your quad. Focus on the anterior pelvic tilt. Imagine you have a string attached underneath your glutes that pulls you up. And you're going to extend both of your knees, pushing the hips back. Anterior pelvic tilt, straightening the back. Fully lock out your knees. Push your back heel down onto the floor. Push towards the back gently. Keep your hips and shoulders squared. And we're going to come back down. One more time. Extend the knees. Arch your back. And come back down. One more time. Push the hips back, extend your knees, look towards the front. Don't look at your leg, it's going to round your back. Look towards the front, and you come back down. 3, 4, 5. Think of that anterior pelvic tilt first. 6. We're going to do 2 more. Extend, push the hips back. Good. Last one, the best one. Nice and tight. Straighten your back, pull it long. Connect your ribs with your glutes. Get your chin towards your big toe. And you come back down. Good, change sides. Same thing here. Right foot is in front, left knee next to that right foot. Back foot is flexed. Hands just outside that foot and knee. Look, over time, you're going to lower the blocks, put your hands on the floor, and eventually even elevate your foot. But today's not that day. Today we're going to do it nice and easy. We're going to focus on form. When you come back, you can make it harder. Anterior pelvic tilt. Glutes guide the movement. Pull the hips up first. Keep your chin up. Keep your quads and ribs connected. Push the hips back, both heels onto the floor. And we come back down. 1. Arch your lower back, push the hips back. Exhale as you get into a deeper stretch. 2. 3, straighten your back, I see you. 4, fully lock your knees every single time. 5, back heels on the floor. 6, keep the scapula depressed. Elbows stay in. 7. Well, it's gonna be the last one. It's gonna be your best one, I know it. Fully lock your knees, push the hips back, exhale, pull long, anterior pelvic tilt, back is straight, come back. Lovely. Get rid of the blocks, we're gonna stand back up. Now for this next one, here's what I want you to do. You're gonna have your feet quite a bit more open than shoulder width apart. The exact distance of your feet is gonna depend on your body proportions and on your level of flexibility. So bear with me. Externally rotate your feet. Hands behind the head. We're gonna do a horse stand or a deep plie. Shoulders depressed, square out of your hips. Engage your core so your back is straight. We're gonna squat down, pushing the knees out. Externally rotate the legs. You're gonna squat down until your knees and hips are on one line, and we come back up. One more time, squat down, push the knees back, push the hips towards the front, and we come back. Squat down. Now in this bottom position here, both of your shins should be perfectly vertical. They're pointing inwards or outwards. Adjust the position of your feet now. 3, 4, halfway there. Give it your best, come on. 5. Imagine you're in a toaster. You don't want to burn your knees, don't want to burn your hips, don't want to burn your glutes either. Bums of steel. Let's do one last one, the best one. Squat down, knees push back, hips push towards the front, posterior pelvic tilt. Don't burn yourself. Come back up. Good, shake it out. Hey, that was pretty much the hardest one for today. On the next one, I want you to lay down on your stomach. Now on your stomach, you're gonna have your hands just outside of your chest. Elbows are gonna be in, scapula is depressed. Now you're gonna take that right leg and bring it out towards the side. So your knee is a 90-degree angle, exactly on line with your hips. Kind of like you're about to go take a nap. And now from here, keeping the left leg engaged, we're gonna bring the back up one vertebrae at a time and push into a nice and little Cleopatra stretch. Now keep in mind that our back is not super warm just yet, so this is not exactly a back stretch. This is a hip stretch. So keep your hips and shoulders square towards the floor. That right hip, push it down gently. Also stay mindful of that back leg. Don't let it wobble around. It's part of you. Come back down. Good, change legs. Extend your right foot down. Straight line with your upper body. Left leg comes out towards the side. 90-degree angle in the knee. Knee in line with your glutes. One vertebrae at a time, we come up. Push your left hip down towards the floor. Feel your hips opening. With every exhale, go into a slightly deeper stretch. And as slowly as focused as you came up, come back down. Lovely. Good, come to your knees. Come to the right side of the mat. On your knees, you're gonna extend your left leg out. Foot, knee, hip, knee, everything's a one straight line. Hands in front. Now imagine you have a string attached here that's gonna pull you out towards the side. Your right hip is gonna push down towards that left knee. Push down. Keep your hips and shoulders squared. Don't allow your hips to rotate like this. Keep your left hip pushing towards the front. Come back up, fully lock out that knee, flex the foot. And now from here, hands towards the floor, glutes towards the floor, chest towards the floor, nice and long. Basically a single leg pancake. We come back up. Let's go again. Hips come down towards the heel. Come back up. And get that hip open up. Nice and long. Good. One more time. Down to the heel. And back. Fold, glutes to the floor, chest to the floor. And we come back up. Half split. And the hip opener. That's 4, we're halfway there. Keep it up. Hips and shoulders squared. Chest and glutes down towards the floor. As you bend down here, push your left hip towards the front. Don't rotate. And everything goes down towards the floor. Let's do 2 more. Maybe do one last one. We're only gonna change sides. Push down, Come back up. And single leg pancake. Push your hips back, glutes towards the floor, chest towards the floor. Good. Come to the other side of the mat. We repeat exactly the same thing, but with the other leg. What we have 2 legs for, right? Knees fully locked. Foot, knee, hip, knee. Everything's on one line. From here, left hip pushes down towards the right heel. Come back, fully lock that knee. Hands towards the front. Glute and chest down towards the floor. Single leg pancake. Come back up. Drive that hip down. Single leg pancake. Everything down to the floor. Get flat, get long. Good. Push your hips down towards that heel. Don't rotate towards that leg. Stay in line. Imagine you're connected with a wall. You come back up. Drop your hips and chest down. Single leg pancake. Pull it nice and long. Look towards the front. Don't look at the floor. Keep your back straight. Come back up. Push the hips down. Back up. And we fold to that single leg pancake. You're already halfway there. You got this. Now you feeling mobilized? Because I sure am. So your last 2. Feels good when everything starts to open up, doesn't it? And the very last one, nice and flat. Good. Beautiful. For this next one, you're going to come to the middle of your mat. Easy, simple, traditional. We all know it, we all love it. We're going to do the frog. Look, you've invested enough time into opening up your hips and to warm up properly that getting a nice and static hold is really going to be beneficial at this point. In your frog, I want you to stay focused though. Knees and hips in one line. Knees 90-degree bend. Feet right behind the knees. Depending on how flexible you are right now, you're going to be down here, or possibly you're going to be up here. But what's important to me is that your upper body is going to remain parallel to the floor, and that your hips are not in an anterior or in a posterior pelvic tilt. I want your back to be straight. I want you to do this right, okay? So make it happen. Make it work the way that you need it to be. Come up here or down here. Now we're going to stay here. It's a passive stretch. You want to stay here for a longer period of time. You can start with 20, 30 seconds when you have not so much experience of flexibility training, but over time you want to work your way up to being able to hold this for about 2 minutes. You want to be able to talk while you do your static stretches. If the intensity is too high and you cannot talk anymore, your muscle is not going to be able to relax, and it's not going to allow you to get deeper and to get more flexible. So finding the right intensity, it can be a fine line, but it's an important one. And with every exhale, I'll slide a little bit deeper. Let's stay for 5 more seconds. Amazing, well done. Shake out your legs. Look, that's already it for our middle split series. From here, we're going to start focusing a little bit more on the back chain. First thing up, we're going to have the shoulders. Grab your yoga blocks. You're going to elevate your hands to basically create some room for your chest to go somewhere so you can actually stretch your lats effectively. Lats truly is the magic word here. We're not stretching the back or the core or whatever right now. I want you to focus on your shoulders. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to keep your elbows locked. You're going to externally rotate the arms slightly so the pits of the elbows either look at each other or even 45 degrees towards the front. Walk your knees back a little bit. And now the most important thing, keep your core engaged so your back is actually straight. I want you, looking towards the front, to push your armpits down towards the floor. Don't arch your back. Keep your core engaged. Shoulders deep pressed. And really focus the stretch into your lats, into your shoulders. Together, we're going to do 3 more exhales. Together, we're going to do 3 more exhales. Inhale, and a long exhale. 1. Long exhale. 2. And the last one, the best one. Engage your core, keep your back engaged. Engage your core, keep your back straight, but push your armpits down towards the floor. Lovely, and you come back out. Hey, good job. Those are not easy, I know they're challenging, but they're good for you. Get rid of your blocks. We're gonna do the Sphinx. One of my favorite exercises, but it is a little technical, so you're gonna have to focus. The details here really matter. You're gonna lay on your stomach, feet shoulder width apart, point your feet. Look, I don't need your legs to be tight like a brake for this one, but I also don't want them to be all over the place. Just be mindful of them. You're gonna have your hands on the floor, approximately next to your face, or even close to your collarbones. Elbows are gonna be in. Now for this exercise, and I'm sure all of you guys are very flexible, and this is very simple for you, keep your elbows on the floor. Keep your forearms fully connected with the floor. Do this one straight away with me. From here, you're gonna pull your head up first, keeping the shoulders down and elbows in. You're using the back muscles mainly. You're gonna come up as high as we can without taking the elbows off the floor. Now I want you to grab the floor and pull yourself towards the front. We're basically creating space in between your vertebrae, in between your ribs. Staying up high, we put that space back and we come back down. One more time. Head comes up first. Grab the floor, pull yourself towards the front, create space in between your vertebrae. Put the space back, and we come down. One more time. Come up, shoulders down, elbows in. Pull yourself towards the front, create space, create room in between your ribs. Put that room back, and we come down. Up. Pull towards the front, shoulders depressed. Put that room back, and we come down. 2 more. Up. Grab the floor, pull towards the front. Put the space back between your wrists. Last one, best one. Come up. Keep your shoulders depressed, elbows in. Grab the floor, pull yourself towards the front. Really feel how you're getting longer in between each rib, in between each vertebrae. You put that space back, you come back down, lovely. Continue straight away. You're gonna walk your hands back a little bit so they're just outside of your chest. We're gonna do a cobra. Everybody knows it, everybody loves it. Now here's the thing. I want you to use your back muscles as much as possible. If at the end of the set your triceps are sore, you and I, we both know you cheated. Keep your elbows in, scapula is depressed. Coming up with the head first, use your back muscles to detach one rib at a time. Really feel how each section of your back arches to its fullest potential before the next section begins to arch. Come all the way up, try to lock out your elbows. Pit of the elbows point towards the front or at least 45 degrees. Scapula is depressed. Push your belly button towards the floor. And we stay. And we come back down. Nice. Keep your shins, knees, and feet connected. Push your hips back. Round your back. Relax your back for a moment. Nice and easy. I'm gonna do a second set straight away. Come back towards the front. Remember, elbows stay in, scapula is depressed, hands flat on the floor next to your chest. Head comes up first. Detach from the floor, one rib at a time. Come all the way up. Fully lock your elbows if you can. Come up to your fingertips to get a slightly bigger stretch. Keep your hip bones on the floor. Scapula is depressed, nice and long neck. Stay for 2 more breaths. And come back down, again, one rib at a time, using your back muscles as much as possible and your hands as little as possible. Good, lovely. Push back one more time, round your back. Good job. Now here's what I want you to do. From here, put your left leg out towards the front. We'll come into what I like to call the half split position. This shin is going to be vertical, hips and shoulders squared, and I want you to first of all push your hips into a posterior pelvic tilt. Now you can grab one block, you don't have to. I'll show it with the block. I want you to focus on form here. Push your right hip down towards your left heel. Now you're going to take your block into your left hand, place it outside of your left hip. Right hand comes up, reaches over. You get a nice little side stretch going here. Now I want you to push your back foot into the floor to help with your posterior pelvic tilt. Push your hips down towards your left heel. Left elbow bends and pulls towards your hips. Push your left shoulder towards the front slightly. Pull your right armpit towards the back to make sure you don't rotate towards the floor. Keep pushing your hips down. Come up. Lovely. Let's change sides. Let's see if you remembered. Right foot is in front. Shin vertical. Posterior pelvic tilt. Push your left hip flexor down towards your right heel. Blocks in the right hand. Blocks on the floor next to you. Hand reaches up. hand reaches over. Now remember, push that back foot into the floor to get that posterior pelvic tilt. Push your hips down. Right elbow bends and pulls towards your hips. Make sure you don't rotate. Make sure your hips and shoulders stay perfectly squared. And with every exhale, you're going to go slightly into a deeper stretch. Good, come back up. Change sides again. You're going to grab that second yoga block. You're going to put that second block on top of the first block outside your foot. Now you're doing the same thing. Shin is vertical. Posterior pelvic tilt. Elbows on top of the block. Focus on getting that hip down in a posterior pelvic tilt. Drive your right hip flexor towards the front like you're trying to touch the blocks. Flex your back foot. And now I want you to push your knee away from the floor to fully lock the knee, but keep your hips as low as possible. Look, this is the preparation exercise. It's after this one where it's gonna get serious. So make sure you pay attention, make sure you do this right. Posterior pelvic tilt, push the hips down, back knee fully locked. Now what I want you to do here is I want you to gently extend your back foot to push that leg into the hips to help with that posterior pelvic tilt. Because remember, we are stretching the hip flexors, so posterior pelvic tilt is what it's all about. Relax the back knee, put the knee down to the floor, point your back foot, push the hips down one more time, come up, let's change sides. Now I want you to focus here because we're actually just building up to this next exercise. This is the prep exercise. The next one is the real deal. It's gonna be serious, so enjoy it while it's easy, all right? Move your blocks a little bit out towards the left. Push your hips down, posterior pelvic tilt. Forearms onto your blocks. Left hip flexor, push down towards that right heel. Give your hips a chance to open up. Appreciate the stretch, it's good for you. Let go of all the tension in your hip flexors. Keep your shoulders depressed, hips and shoulders squared. Flex your back foot. Push your left knee up, fully extend the knee, but push the hips down. Lock it out, fully lock out the knee. Imagine the floor is lava. You want to be as far away from that lava as possible because you don't want to burn that knee. Gently point the left foot, push the left leg into your hips to help with the posterior pelvic tilt, to square you out better, to get you into a better position. Relax the back knee, put it back to the floor, point your foot, slowly come back up. Well done. We have one more exercise left. It's going to be the most important and the most challenging one. For today, you're going to use the blocks, make it a little bit easier, but make sure you do it right, that your form is perfect. Left leg's out in front. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to push the hips down into this half split. Posterior pelvic tilt. Hands are going to be next to your hips or just a tiny little bit in front of your hips. That is not tiny little bit in front of your hips. Keep your upper body straight. Focus on that posterior pelvic tilt. You're going to flex your back foot. We're basically going to do what we did on our forearms just now. We're going to fully lock out that back foot, pointing the foot gently to help with the posterior pelvic tilt, pushing the hips down, and we're going to put the foot back onto the floor. I don't want you to think that you're doing lunges here. The idea is to keep the hips as low as possible. You're going to extend the leg as much as you can, and only when you cannot extend it any further, then you allow your hips to come up slightly. You ready? Let's get it started. Come down to your half split position, posterior pelvic tilt, push that right hip towards your left heel. Front shin is vertical. Adjust the distance of your foot. Place your hands next to your hips. Upper body straight. Flex the back foot. We're going to do 6 reps. Lock out the back knee as hard as you can. And bring it back down. Lock out the knee, keep your hips as low as possible. Only come up when you cannot lock it any further. And you come back down. 2. And 3. Halfway there. Extend the knee. And back down. Extend the knee and gently point your back foot. Help with that posterior pelvic tilt. Back down. Last one, best one. You got this. Extend fully, lock out the knee. Imagine there's fire underneath your knee, and if you don't fully lock it out, the flames are going to touch you. Push your hips down, relax back down. Hey, good job. Change legs one more time. This is only the last one. Right foot's going to come out in front. posterior pelvic tilt. Push your left hip flexor down towards the right heel. Shin is vertical. Walk your hands next to your hips. You can either be perfectly next to your hips or slightly in front. This, unacceptable. Right here. Back foot is flexed. Push the hips down. Lift that back knee off the floor. Push it up. And push the hips down. 1. Fully lock that back knee. 2. I know there's a lot to think about. That's why we do this one last. Fully lock it. Bring it back down. Think of that posterior pelvic tilt. Push the back leg into the hips to help with the posterior pelvic tilt. 4, we have 2 more. Don't lean your upper body towards the front. Lift your belly button off your quad. Don't be lazy. 5, last one, best one, you got this. Fully lock out the knee, push your hips down, push the knee up. Last one, push, push. Relax it down, good, shake it out. Hey, well done. And that's it for today. Amazing job. You stretched your hamstrings, your adductors, your back chain, your shoulders, and your hip flexors. Truly a full body stretch. Look, you can come back here and do this stretch up to 6 times per week. You know as an athlete, doing it once is not going to get you flexible. You need consistency, and you need intensity, and you need focus. Every single time you work through the sequence, focus on your form. I gave you all the details. Do it right every single time. And then over time, get rid of the blocks, start elevating your feet, and make those gains.